So let's get it started. My name is Paula Marie, aka the Ebony Biz Diva. I'm so excited today to be talking. Make sure my volume is up. Um, I think that's a little better. Let me know if that's better, Sean. I just turned the volume up a little bit on here. Um, so, yeah, I'm Paula Marie, aka the Ebony Biz Diva, and we're talking about how to vacation prove your vacations, right? For your business. A lot of times, as I'm working with clients, I am a visibility coach. I work primarily with systems and how to create more visibility for your business. What does that look like? It looks like your brand voice, it looks like your imaging and how you show up. I've already shouted out Sean, who's with us on these clubhouse streets right now, because her image on her profile is ridiculous. As soon as I finish, I'm going to update my image because that's been on my list for a minute. Okay. So thanks for the inspiration, Sean. Your imaging has to show up and has to show up in a powerful way that creates the attention, but also creates the inquisition of those that are looking at you as well. Also, I want to shout out the other thing that's going to create more visibility is your video, which is what we're doing now. This is live. It's live in multiple streaming platforms. And how you show up and how you use the video that you create is powerful. And most people don't know how to use video effectively to be able to monetize and to represent who they authentically are. So that's what I do in a nutshell. I work with new entrepreneurs, but also entrepreneurs that are stuck, entrepreneurs that may have a need to be, that need to shift. You've shown up in the world, but nothing's popping. You've shown up in the world, your revenue's not moving. You've shown up in the world and you're not attracting the right clients. I work with new entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs that are stuck to help you to get your business systems together and your foundation correct. Also, to make sure that your visibility is popping. And I just got back from vacation, so I'm looking at my skin. My skin is popping today. Okay, my skin is popping today. It's been about 2 weeks. This is my first live in 2 weeks because it's taken me that long. And we're going to get into that when we go through the 9 steps of how to vacation proof your business. We're going to get into the time frame that it takes. What you think is not always what it really is. So I want to thank my girl Sean Jones Harris, who is with me live on these clubhouse streets. And I just shouted her out. Her profile picture is ridiculous. She has a dark background, but it's not black. Black is my color. So I'm taking some notes, Sean. Okay. You're schooling me today. And I just shouted her out because the way the light is hitting her skin is absolutely flawless. Okay. The way the light is hitting her skin is absolutely flawless. It is like the light is popping, is bouncing off of her black melanin magic, right? And she just told me she's a professional photographer. So if you're in these clubhouse streets, go into the chat. I want you to follow Sean Jones Harris, right? Because I'm sure she has some tips, some courses, some workshops on how to show up your best. Am I right, Sean? Like I haven't clicked on you. I haven't clicked on you yet to see your bio, but I'm pretty sure you got some stuff pop. So let me know if you do. And if you do, please place a link in the description. She says, no, I'm a professional photographer. Took the pic. Okay. So maybe we could get some workshops, some tips, some things going on. If that's something that interests you, Sean, definitely let me know. Hey, Dee Dee, welcome back, beautiful. It's been a minute. Dee Dee does do's, okay? Wadi Musa, I love it. She's a natural hairstylist, a product maker, and an apprentice barber. Because, we all like to make sure we look good when we show up in terms of our visibility. So that's important for us to make sure. So welcome, Queen. Welcome. Both of you, Sean, Dee Dee, shout out who you are. If you have any links, feel free to place those inside of the in the comments as well, in the chat. This is on replay, so you never know who's going to see it. Whenever you get a chance to show up powerfully, show up strong, show up loud and in vivid color. So let's jump into it, right? We're talking about, I've got 9 tips because I just got back from Aruba. Shout out Aruba. It was my first time there. When I tell you I had the absolute best time in Aruba, the weather was 80 degrees the entire week. There's a breeze that is constant. The breeze never stops. You wake up, there's a breeze. The middle of the day, there's a breeze. The top of the day, the hottest part of the day, there's a breeze. At night, there's a breeze. The breeze is constant. And the villa that we stayed in, oh, Chaba, could not pick a better villa. My computer, because I was going to do some light work while I was there. You know how us entrepreneurs are. We always think we're going to do some light work, right? I always think we're going to do some light work. But I didn't open my computer, did not have a need to open my computer at all, period, the whole entire time. Like at all. Did not have a need to open my computer. Everything that I had set up in my business before was moving and working. I just wanted to do some behind the scenes work because as entrepreneurs, there's always things that can be done, right? However, a sign of a really great vacation is when you're comfortable enough in your business and how you left it when you boarded the plane to not do work while you're there. And I need us to understand rest as entrepreneurs. And that was the main reason why I put this list together, because I did a poll a couple of weeks ago before I went on vacation. And I just asked, how do you vacation proof your business, right? Like, how do you vacation proof? And I was amazed at how many entrepreneurs commented that they are constantly working, that their business doesn't stop, so they don't stop. And that's a sad entity, especially for us as Black female entrepreneurs, because when do we rest? When do we stop and take care and nurture ourselves? When do we smell the roses? When do we allow our brains to relax? I want you, if you're listening to that, to ask yourself these questions, because it's super important for us to, forgot to plug up my mic, let me do that. Super important for us to make sure that pouring into ourselves in a powerful way. So the very first, and I mean the very first, the very first thing that I want to tell you is that in terms of when it comes to your rest, your power, right? That you understand how to set yourself up. So, number 1 on this list is preparation. You have to prepare, you have to prepare, you have to prepare. Now, I know that there may be times that you can't prepare. There may be times that it's spontaneous trip. There may be times that you don't have the team in place. We're going to get into all of that. But you've got to prepare logistically what going on vacation looks like. This is creating your SOP, your standard operating procedures. So to give you a little bit of background about myself, I've worked in corporate, commercial, and government entities for the last 20 years. So I've had to step my game up in terms of hiring, HR, management skills, back end skills, right? Interpersonal skills, working with the community and networking, creating programming, offboarding, onboarding, all the things that you do as a project manager, a manager in general. That was my job. Even though it was seeped in fitness, I worked for, again, corporate, commercial, and government entities. So systems, procedures, and policies are not lost, regardless of the modality that you work at in these institutions. Your preparation is key. So as you are mapping out what happens on vacation, document this thing. Document what you think needs to happen. Document what happens while you're on vacation. Document what happens when you come back from vacation. Think back to the last time you were on vacation and what worked and what didn't work. Start there. Hello, Mandy. Thanks for jumping in. Because I want you to be very conscious and cognizant of the fact that the best way that you can offset any type of pitfalls while you're on vacation, any type of anxiety that's going to impact your good vacation that you're paying for, okay, is to prepare. So that's number one. I need you to think about that. Preparation means sit down, pen to pad, all right? Fingertips on the keys of the computer and type out what needs to happen, what you would like that experience to look like, feel like for you, so that you can enjoy your vacation to the fullest. Because the number one goal for vacationing is to normalize nurturing you, spending time with those that are important to you, resetting your spirit, right? Refreshing your mind so you can come back creatively, as powerfully as you can. And if you leave working to the bone on vacation, oh, I got to go to a meeting, I can't do this excursion. Oh, I got to wake up early, I can't fix breakfast with my kids. Oh, I got a nighttime call because I'm on a different time zone and it's 10 a.m. back home. You are negating the entire purpose of what that looks like. So again, I need you to understand, right? So, number one, prep, 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 prep. The PPPs, okay? PPPs, the prep, not the PPPs, right? For Paula and Pinterest and Pilates, right? There used to be a couple years ago when we first started on the platform of Clubhouse, everybody introduced me as the real PPP, right? Because we were going through, COVID. And so we had the PPP for all of the safety precautions and materials that we needed. But my tag name was the real PPP, which stood for Pinterest and Pilates. And then I have a skincare line called Paula's Web. So the PPP right now for vacationing proofing your business is to prepare, prepare, prepare. Now, number two, let's get into it. I'm digging into some stuff. You've got to dig into your quarterly, your biannual plan. What does that mean? It means that at the beginning of the year, this is what I do for all of my clients that I've worked with the entire year, whether I've worked with you in a small boot camp or whether I've worked with you in VIP one-on-ones, however I've worked with you, my gift to all of my clients that I've worked with throughout the year is to do an annual plan for your upcoming year. And how do we do that in an intelligent way so that we can forecast where we want to go? We can forecast our revenue streams, and we can also offset spending our time in ways that do not generate revenue or do not generate client attraction and retention. So we've got to make sure that we're looking at our business in a really strategic way. So I want you to dig into your quarterly, your biannual plan. What are you launching? What are you launching in the time frame that you are going on business and immediately after? Because that's going to be the focus of you and your team as you are going away on business. If you are launching something, then your goal is not to talk about what you're doing in real time. That should already be automated. Now, remember, I told you, I come from government and corporate and commercial entities. So we are in those entities working on an annual plan that is a quarter ahead. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back, because I don't think you heard me. We're not working on content and creating programming in real time. That's already been created. We are working on content and creating that is a quarter ahead. And that's how businesses and entities move. So if you didn't grab that nugget, reach down bend down, pick that nugget up. Let's shift how we are creating and managing our time. All right. So we're also live streaming on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, I can't see your names because we're on StreamYard. So please shout out your names for me if you're watching this, even if it's hashtag replay. Also, YouTube on YouTube, please shout out who you are. And then what do you do for your business? What do you do for your business? That's important. So Dee Dee Does Do's is a natural hairstylist, right? She works with natural hair. And then we also have Sean Jones Harris in the audience, and she is a photographer. So let me know who you are in the audience, so I know who I'm speaking to and who I'm talking to directly. It's important for us to dig into the time frame that we're going on vacation, that we're going to be away, so that whatever it is that needs to be implemented during that time for whatever we're launching stays current and that we stay on task. There's no slips, no slips in it at all, right? So make sure you're key to that. Now the third thing is that you've got to develop some very clear, succinct, pulled out my big words, call to action, right? Succinct. What does that mean? It means that the call to actions, first of all, they need to be there. Okay. A lot of you are creating content that there are no clear call to actions, but you're showing up and you're showing up in a very powerful way, but you're not asking for anything. You're not asking for anything. So a call to action is just telling people where you want them to go. Like, what's the purpose of this? Even while you're on vacation, even while you're on vacation. So if you look at the call to action I have for this particular uh, workshop, I'm very clear. If you look at the description, I'm very clear. I tell you in the description, hey, if you want to talk more about how to vacation proof your business for under $250 a month. So if you're going on vacation for a week and you just need some help for a month, we can knock that out for $250 if you're looking for that way of helping you. Because maybe the 9 steps, you get it, but you don't have time for it. Click the link so that we can chat about it. 15 minutes. That's my call to action, right? If you're on these Clubhouse streets, look above my head. The link to schedule that is above my head. That's a call to action. Those that want it will do it. Those that don't need it, they'll leave it. But it's very clear that you understand that call to actions are necessary in every piece of content, whether it's social media, whether it's video, whether it's email, even on your websites. There needs to be call to action sprinkled in every step of the way as they look onto your website. They're reading your articles and your blogs. There needs to be call to actions in your descriptions on your social medias. If they download a file, there needs to be call to actions on what to do after they download. You got to be an air traffic control man. You got to tell people where to go, where to park, where to get out, and where to walk every step of the way. So make sure your call to actions are super clear. Make sure your call to actions are incredibly clear, right? My Clubhouse is stuck. Yeah. Alrighty, so let's go to number 4. Number 4 is you need to alert your team, I'm stepping on some toes, team of a to-do list of tasks with finite deadlines before, during, and at least 4 weeks after your vacation. Let me say that again. You need to alert your team of to-do list tasks with finite details before, during, and at least 4 weeks after. Why 4 weeks after? Well, I just told you it took me 2 weeks to even get back on here live. I've been working, but just not working in live time with my audience. It literally took me 2 weeks because you have a life. You may have a family. You may be working another job on top of your business, right? You've got to, again, reestablish your new normal of coming back into the world. And so you can't do that if you've got to jump right into the fire because things were not handled while you were gone, nor are things being handled when you get back. Or you told your team, don't do this until I get back. Let's take that narrative totally out of your vocabulary. It's important for you to understand that you have to give your team carte blanche, all the rights and the rhythms in your business to do the things that they need to do. You've got to do that. What does that mean? It means we go back to number one, which is prepare, prepare, prepare. Prepare, prepare, prepare. So you've got to prepare. Maybe you don't have a team. Maybe you are the team. And if you are the team, then it's time to start thinking about how do I grow my team? Even if it's just a VA that creates content for you. I have a team of one, and she does all of my content creation when I allow her. Because I love creating content too. So she helps me with that, right? And I can give her a list of things to do, and she knows what she's doing for the next 30 to 45 days. And we just check in. So maybe you've got a team of one. Maybe you need help building a team. Maybe you feel like I don't have the finances or the budget inside of my business to build a team. And if that's the case, click the link. This is the call to action, the succinct, clear call to action I'm telling you all about. Click the link if you're on these Clubhouse listening lounges. I need you to click the link above my head. And if you're watching either Facebook or YouTube, click the link in the description. Let's talk about it. $250 for 30 days to really proof out your business. So you definitely need to let go of things before you leave. That's why I said you need to have clear call to actions and to do tasks for your team before, during, and after. You've got to start to let go before. So like a week or a week and a half before, 2 weeks before you start pulling back. Week and a half, you're pulling back even more. The week of, you just checking in with clear instructions that unless the building is burning down, and even if the building is burning down, call 911. Call 911. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. So that means we've got to really talk about vacationing way before we go on vacation if we don't have a team. We've got to start to put together some simple tasks. And it doesn't mean all the things that move in your business are being handled, but just the important things that need to keep the rhythm of your business flowing needs to happen. There needs to be some clear and some succinct rhythms to that. So we've got to dig in. We've got to dig in, right? Let's go to number 5. Number 5 means to schedule social media. We've got to automate. We got to automate. Remember that VA I told you I have? That's all she does. That's all she does. That's all she does. She came to me. I didn't even have to find her. She slipped into my DMs. How many of you have had virtual assistants that slip into your DMs and say, hey, you look like you may need, would you ever like to, right? And you kind of push them to the side. Well, that day I was about it. Yeah, I was about it. So I said, okay. I gave her one task to do. She didn't have access to any of my things, but I said, create this content, dot, bop, bop. I gave her the ABCs in the broad stroke. She did it. I said, okay, let's create another piece of content. This time it was 3 or 5, right? We worked on a price. She did it. It was perfect. So then the next time I said, okay, let's work on a week-to-week basis or a contract basis of what I need. I may need one thing this week, but I may need 5 things this week. What's your rate for this type of work? And we worked on a contractual basis for about maybe 6 months. I tested her out. She had access to some of my business inside back end. I'll show you how to do that in a way where they don't have any passwords or any of your personal things. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the call to actions that I'm giving you for we can chat about it and we can schedule some things out. After about 6 months, I felt comfortable enough to hire her weekly. So weekly we came up with these are the things that I'm going to need on a weekly basis. I gave her a 90-day window of what to do. She scheduled and automated those things succinctly. I didn't have to worry about it. Now I'm still a creator, so I'm creating my own content as well, but she's creating the nuts and the bolts of my content so that my presence is always there. So there's a lot of ways that you can build a team. You don't have to say, okay, I'm going to build a team and I'm going to hire all the moving parts, right? And then when I need something done on my website, I've got people that I contract periodically. If I need somebody to go into my email automation, I'm still looking for that. I haven't been able to find someone. I've tested a couple of people. Email automation is personal for me because the way I speak is the way my emails look. And literally, I record my emails on my phone and give it to you. And they even like couldn't get that together. So I'm still working hard on my email automations. But you can figure it out. If I've got all the other things in my business handled and I've got go-to people I can go to, they're part of my team. They're just not part of my team on a daily or weekly basis. It gives me time to flush out my email. So you've got to schedule and automate. How do we schedule and automate? We go back to the biannual and the quarterly plan. What are we talking about? While you're on vacation, you could be in the middle of a launch. Does that mean you don't go on vacation? No, it means you schedule. That's what it means. It means you automate. It means you schedule. All right. Let's go to number 6, y'all. Number 6 is before we can schedule social media, we got to create content. Now, content is not just social media. We got to create our emails and how we're sounding. We've got to automate our blogs, right? Wherever you show up in the world, whether that's Pinterest or LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, we've got to automate and we've got to schedule. Now, I'll tell you one thing I do. I just do all my TikToks in real time. I don't believe in automating those things. I know there are some systems that are out there that will allow you to automate them. I don't believe in that because the way the algorithm on TikTok moves, and you know me, I'm a video girl. And so I just automate them in real time. But then I take those TikToks, I'm about to give y'all better write this down. I take my TikToks and I automate them on other platforms. So that TikTok might have been running for like 2 weeks or a month, but it didn't show up on Facebook as a reel until like 3 weeks later, a month later. So sometimes you've got to learn that when you are automating things, we don't automate all the things on all the platforms at the same time. Each platform has its own rhythm. So we've got to create the content. We got to create the content before you leave. You've got to know beforehand based on your annual and your biannual calendar before you leave. So you've got to create the content. There should be no content creation happening for content that needs to be automated while you're gone. Content creation while you are gone should have been created before. Remember, government, commercial, corporate entities work a quarter in advance. So your content should have already been created. Now we can do last minute content that inspires us, that hits us, in real time. Those are fillers. But your base content, while the week you're on vacation, the 2 weeks you're on vacation, the 3 weeks you're on vacation, who can take 3 weeks? Because last summer I took 3 weeks. I was in San Juan for 3 weeks. I planned for that though. I planned for that. So ask yourself, can I take 2 weeks to be on vacation and my business still flow? My content still moves, my emails still flow, my appointment calendar is filling because I have clear and succinct call to actions, right? So we've got to create the content. The content that's being created while you're on vacation is forecasted content that you need to approve when you get back so that it can be automated. Because remember, they're still creating when you get back. You've got your cushion of 2 to 4 weeks. So they're working because you've given them a clear outline of what to work on while you're on vacation. While you jump back, leap back, dip your toe back into the pond of the real world. So your content creation needs to happen in that real time. Number 7, you got to automate emails. Now, your emails need to be talking about real time. And your emails are also created before you even leave. All of the things while you're on vacation are done prior to you leaving. All the things that are happening while you're on vacation is after, 4 weeks after you get back. Because the first thing that we're talking about is prepare, right? So making sure that your emails have clear call to actions, but that they're talking about the thing that you're launching, the thing that's most important to you, not the thing in real time. And I'll say that some of your content is happening right now because your content is in real time and it's too late. We've got to create some sound around what you're launching, some interest. We've got to kind of build our tribe around what you're launching and talking about. You got to get some excitement around what you're talking about. That takes time. And the only way that you can do that is to prepare. We can't drop something this week for something that we want to happen next week unless you already have your tribe together. They're already locked and loaded in that thing. So if you're starting from the ground up, from the dirt, we've got to have some consistency and some longevity in the types of content that resonates with the type of clients that you want to service so that they can like lean in. And that can happen while you're on vacation. Absolutely. Number 8, you got to clear your calendar. Listen to this, people. You got to clear your calendar 5 to 7 days after you return to get acclimated back to your business while you were away. Now, I already told y'all it took me 2 weeks to get back on here live. So 7 to 10 days. Whew, y'all can jump into the fire. I didn't feel I needed to jump into the fire because I had already automated the things I needed to automate and things were moving. So I had the time. I also knew that there were other things happening in my world outside of business when I came back. It's the end of the school year. I work for the school system. So I knew I needed that cushion. I needed that time to just be present in that because the end of the school year is a hard push. So kind of why I sound like a man right now, because yesterday was the last day of school. So sounding all types of masculinity right now, right? But you've got to clear your calendar. That means that you don't have an appointment waiting for you the next day you get back. No. So that means if you have clear call to actions like me, in this video, I've clear call to actions. If you want to talk about how to vacation proof your business for $250 a month, right? Hit the link and let's talk about it in an inquiry chat. Let's talk about it. That's what an inquiry chat is. You have questions, I answer. I have questions. We sync up. We see if it's a good fit. That's it, right? But best believe my calendar is not open for you to schedule something the day I get back or the day after I get back or 3 days after I get back. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. I got back from vacation 2 weeks ago. My next My next live interview for my podcast is in 2 days. I had scheduled enough interviews for my podcast prior to. So I built a cushion. I had enough to hold off, and I have extra interviews to schedule. So you've got to plan, prepare, plan, prepare. Remember, clear your calendars. Clear your calendars. The point we are making is that when you go on vacation, if you're usually exhausted when you get there, took everything you had to get there, pack a bag, right? Took everything you had to pack a bag. Then you get there, it takes a day when you get on vacation, if not two, because you're traveling. Maybe it's a different time zone. So you got to get acclimated to where you are. Then you've got to step into vacation, start enjoying it, start relaxing, start really taking care of you, your body, your heart, your spirit, your mind, your friends, your family, your experiences, right? You're soaking all those things up, right? And then it's like, oh my God, I got to pack and come back. And it's the travel back. And just like it took you a day or two to get acclimated, it's going to take you time to get acclimated back. Protect the peace that you have built and cultivated on vacation. Preserve it. Preserve it. So clear your calendars when you get back, unless it is the biggest B2B deal ever, right? Like it's the biggest thing, and it has to happen during that time. Yeah, there's some extenuating circumstances that I'm going to take that call while I'm on vacation. I'm going to take that call. But listen, if it's just the regular, mundane, everyday things of your business, it's not going to really improve. It's not something that you have to do. It's ride or die. If you don't do it now, you lose the opportunity to generate that revenue, to grab that client. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure if you say, hey, I'm going on vacation in a couple of weeks, everybody will adjust for you. Sometimes we just don't ask for the things that we need. But we have to normalize nurturing ourselves. Like, absolutely, we have to do it. So going back to the comments, Sean says, and she's our resident photographer on this broadcast. She says, I have to work on email automation. Me too, Sean. Me too. I told you I'm looking for somebody to do emails for me, because really you just need one email that's like your base a month, and then like any extra emails per week. I mean, one email per week that goes out monthly. And then any extra emails that are a little bit deeper, a little bit digging into like whatever we're launching and whatever we're doing, right? There's a system to how we create email automation, and I follow that system and teach that with my clients as well. And it takes the load off of email automation for you, because a lot of times it's hard to figure out, what do I even talk about a month in advance? And when we do email automations on the day that we create emails, we're creating 5 emails in that day. And when you follow the template, is really easy to do, and it's easy to do it in your authentic voice, right? So it sounds like it's coming from you. So you're not just copying and pasting like template, but you're actually like using the template, so it's easy for you to follow the structure of creating the email automation, and using your biannual and quarterly plan. Going back to that, because everything goes back to your annual plan of where you want your business to go, and what you're focusing on in each quarter, what you're focusing on each month, what's popping off in each week of the month, right? It's easy to follow when you've got that. So email automation can be a really quick thing. And the reason why we do 5 emails instead of 4, because generally there are 4 weeks in each month. There are a couple of odd months where there are 5. But if we create 5 emails at one time, we got a bonus email, right? If once a month I'm creating my email automation, listen to this, I'm dropping some more nuggets. If I'm creating email automation once a month. Every 4 weeks, I'm creating email automation on my calendar. It's on my calendar. That's what I'm doing. If that's what I'm doing, I've got a bonus email. I got a bonus email. Now, that bonus email is still going to go in the right space. But what happens is, instead of me having to show up every 4 weeks, what if something happens? What if my schedule gets off? What if life gets in the way? What if I'm on vacation, right? I've got an extra email to cushion me. So when I do get back to my email automation on maybe the 5th week, I'm not behind in my emails. I'm not scrambling. Now, if I'm doing 5 emails every 4 weeks, every month, January, I've got 5 emails, right? So by February 1, when it's time for me to do my next 4 emails, I'm doing 5 more emails. By March the 2nd, I've got 2 extra emails that are buffering into March. So the first 2 weeks of emails in March are done. But I'm still doing 5 emails the 1st of March. So now I've got 4 more emails to take me through all of March and the first 3 weeks of April. But April 1, I'm doing my 5 emails, because every month I'm doing my email automation, right? So then when those emails are populated, I've got all of my April, and guess what? I've got all of my May. All of my May. Maybe one of those may have a 5th month in it. But you see where I'm going? So I have emails that are overlapping in the schedule, so that if life happens, I've got a buffer email every month. And that's the system that I teach, and that's the system that works. So that goes back to prepare, prepare, prepare. It goes back to the automate, and creating content. It goes back to digging into your quarterly plan. Because what am I talking about in those emails? I'm going back to my quarterly plan. All right, y'all, we're on the home stretch. We got one more thing to talk about in terms of vacationing proofing your business. All right. You've got to set up your email, your automated email response, and or assign a VA to work on social media messaging. I'm gonna say that again. Set up your automated email response and set up your social media messages. Right? So that's what we're working on. And the reason why that's important, I've heard people say so many things. I don't want people to know I'm on vacation. Why? You don't want people to know that you take time for yourself? You don't want people to know, you don't think people are not going to know you're on vacation? You're not posting content on your social media? You're not going to be sitting by the pool. You're not going to be eating great food. You're not going to be having fabulous drinks. You're not going to be going on amazing excursions. You think people not going to know you're on vacation? No. You don't have to physically say, hey, I'm on vacation. I'll get back to you, blah, blah, blah. You can, but you don't have to. But make sure that you create an automated email response that lets them know, hey, I'm away from my office until da 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 da. Right? We've got to start normalizing nurturing ourselves. Right? If you have an immediate need, please contact blah da 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 da. If you have that at your disposal, you can hire a team to handle that while you're gone. Absolutely. You can hire someone to handle all of your messaging while you're gone. Absolutely. Or you can have an automated email response on your social media platforms now. All of them have a way that you can automate. When someone hits you up, there's an automated response that pops up. Now, I myself, I don't like those because they respond. I could say, hey Stephanie, how you doing? You're gonna get the automated response. Like it's not for me. You know, it's too many messages popping up, blah 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 blah. It's just too much. But what I do want to do is I want to make sure that you are not ghosting people that may be reaching out to you in the DMs, right? You never know when that may happen. I hope that you have clear calls to actions that ask them to send you a message because it's really quick. Instagram now has the message button that you can post on all of your reels and content now. So they can just hit the message and be in your DMs. That's fabulous. I've gotten so many people that just reached out to me and asked me questions and signed up for things just because they had a question and it's in the moment. So make sure that you lock in your automations with your emails and your social medias, and have a VA to handle any questions that you may have. That's it. Because there may be some things that happen in real time, especially if there's money involved. Now, I will suggest if there's something that's happening with money involved, if you have something out there where people can sign up for and pay you while you're on vacation, that's amazing. Okay, that's how we make money effortlessly. But also make sure that we're handling any issues that may be happening with that. So that may be a way for you to get up and just say, I'm going to dedicate 15 minutes to check in every day just to make sure that the money is right. Nothing else. Don't get sucked into the black hole, but make sure that you check in and you say, okay, I'm going to wake up and before we start cooking breakfast and I'm going to make sure the money is right and have a conversation. Right. That's it. Because I will tell you, when you are dealing with people and their money, they don't want to wait until you get back from vacation, honey bunches of oats. They want you to have it like right then. All right. So that's it for the vacation proof your business. Listen, I'm going to go through these really quickly just to sum them up. Number one is that you have to prepare, prepare, prepare. Gotta look out and forecast what that vacation looks like 4 weeks prior to the week or 2 weeks that you're on, and 4 weeks when you get back. Number two, dig into your quarterly and biannual plan. Continue to plant those seeds and continue watering the seeds of whatever the thing is that you're launching. That is going to help you to be able to understand, what do I focus on while I'm on vacation. Number three, you've got to develop succinct, clear call to actions. Don't have content out there where you are just showing up but not telling those that are following you, watching you, interested in you, what to do to stay connected to you. So your call to actions need to happen in every post, every video, every blog, every email. Number four, alert your team of to-do tasks with finite deadlines. Don't just say, here's a list of 10 things that I need to happen while I'm on vacation. Break those 10 things down. I need the first 3 done by this date. After we do this, then I need you to work on A, B, and C. When A, B, and C are done, I want you to hand it off to X, Y, and Z. Give very clear, finite details of what you want your team to do. If you need help building your team, click the link that I've given so we can talk about how to start that in a slow, gradual way. Number five, schedule your social media. You've got to schedule that thing out. How many times am I showing up while I'm gone? Remember, you created a schedule 4 weeks prior to you leaving for vacation, the week of, and 4 weeks after. So make sure that you are developing a succinct, clear rhythm in the flow of your content so that you can be totally hands off while you're gone. Now, we cannot create a schedule for social media without number six, creating the content. So create the content that aligns with what it is your focus on your business is for that quarter, for that month, for each week in the month. We've got to develop outlines. I'm stepping on some toes here, but we've got to forecast. That's the only way your business will win. Number 7, we are creating and automating our emails in real time. I just broke down a really simple way for you to automate emails in a way that gets you ahead of the game, so that by the time you get to the month of April and March, and then you are an entire month ahead on your email automations. So please make sure that you are working on that and that you are doing that, right? I'm kind of lost. I think I skipped something. Um, Make sure that you are creating and clearing out your calendar. 5 to 7 days is what it says here after you get back. Clear your calendar 5 to 7 days after you land for your vacation. Why is that important? It's important because when you land, you've got to give yourself time to get acclimated back into the schedule of your normalcy of business. Block out your calendars. Create clear expectations with your team so that they know that they are still working. You may check in from time to time. It doesn't mean you don't check in, but you're not full throttle, 10 toes down. And then number 9, set up automated email response and automated social media messages that are responders. This is going to save you while you're on vacation because it lets people know that you're not ignoring them, but that you're away and that you will come back to them when you return. Please place a date. Please place a date of when you return. That's important because if you say, I'll get back to you in 2 weeks, what does 2 weeks look like, right? Also, make sure that you add in what to do in case they need more urgent follow up. Who to call? What's the process? What's the procedure, right? So I hope that this helped you because, in terms of vacation season and honoring all the things that we are doing inside of our business, it's super important for us to make sure that we are also normalizing, nurturing ourselves, and that we give ourselves as much attention to our details of refreshing, resetting, rejushing, right? Realigning, right? That's how we become our most creative selves. That's how we become more refreshed. We start to redefine our why in our businesses after a vacation. I know I do. So it becomes very important for me to make sure that I take vacations. They don't all have to be very huge vacations. Like I came back and I was like, oh, I need to take another like quick vacation before the end of the summer. And I'm already forecasted to go on another one in another 3 weeks. So, it's important for you to plan for these things so that you can really start to nurture your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your psychological health. But it's also this thing of us being so sure about where our business is going that we are able to forecast and we are able to delegate certain tasks. That's super important. So I hope that this worked for you. I hope this was something that you enjoyed. I hope that you got some aha moments. Sean, Dee Dee, I know you couldn't come up to the stage, but any questions that you may have, definitely place those inside of the chat. Listen, normalize nurturing you. Make sure that you are preparing every single time that you are going on vacation, going away for a business meeting, traveling in any way, shape, or form. It's important for you to understand what that looks like and how that feels. All right. Because if you don't, it's a problem. And we don't want no problems. Okay. Alrighty, it's your girl Paula Marie, aka the Ebony Biz Diva, and it all starts with building your authentic visual brand voice. So if you do not know what that looks like. If you are having issues understanding how to even start to plan for a vacation, I got you. Come on, let's go. All right. Peace.